Welcome to Commonwealth Sports Talk, Season 2, Episode 10, with your hosts, Joe Dillard Jr. and Lamonte Thomas. Today's special guest, Carlos Poindexter, head coach of Hayfield High School men's basketball in Alexandria, Virginia.
Welcome to Commonwealth Sports Talk. I'm your host, JoJo D, and I'm bringing you also Lamonte Thomas, my co-host.
What's going on, everybody? Today on Commonwealth Sports Talk, we're going to have an interview with Carlos Poindexter, the head coach of Hayfield High School basketball. That's going to be a treat today. We got Mr. Poindexter on. Can't wait.
Absolutely, man. And you know what it is. This podcast is designed to spread knowledge, teach, and inform the listener and viewer about the positive advancement of Virginia athletes, born or raised, and definitely born and raised. This podcast is also brought to you by Legacy Maker Sports, Grind and Pray, and Beats by Mike Brown Jr. So let's go ahead and break you into the show with Hayfield basketball head coach, Carlos Poindexter.
All right, here we go. We got Mr. Carlos Poindexter, head coach, Hayfield High School. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
No problem. No problem, man. All right, man. I'm going to go ahead and bring this around full circle. This is going to be a treat because you probably don't remember me right now, but you will in a second. So,
Hey.
You come on, what was it, 2012? When did you take the reins over there?
Yeah, 2012, 2013 season.
Okay, perfect. So you happen to remember those summer league bumps up there in Northern Virginia, man? We had you had a little school by the name of Grace Brother and Christian come through there. We had Mount Vernon was giving that bump. We had man, who else was out there? We had Mount Vernon was out there. Y'all had Edison. Those kind of teams, we would always give that bump in summer league a couple years in a row, man. You remember that?
I do remember that, yeah.
Yeah, so I was actually.
Where's the summer league located at? Where'd y'all play at?
Was it Westpo?
It was West Potomac.
Yeah.
Because they was in there too. Baloo was in there, man. We had that thing running like live period.
Yeah, hey, those was good times.
Man, I'm telling you, I remember that like vividly. It was so funny, man, because that's how I really, came to know of you. You know, we kind of ran into each other in that. And I mean, I'm sure you remember the head coach, Tony, and
I do.
Yeah, and Ray, y'all had Ray Davis actually had coached there for a minute, didn't he?
Yeah, Ray, my man.
Oh, that's my guy. Trust me. Yeah, we go way back. We go way back to VCU here in college. So
word? Not that. Damn, that's what's up.
Yeah, we stayed coaching even after that. Even after he left Hayfield, we worked camps together. Man, I raised my guy, man. Day one for sure. But yeah, man. So there it is, man. It's just so funny this coming full circle because
it is.
Small Virginia world.
And it's definitely a small world.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure, man. But yeah, I just wanted to, you remember those days back then where, we was grinding it out there.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, we don't have to throw Williams, Seward, DeVille. Those names I throw out to you, you know our history.
I definitely know what that is.
We know our history. We walked the streets every day and had a story to tell. It was almost like Biggie. We got a story to tell.
Definitely.
Hey.
That's how it used to be.
Tell me about it, man. So what I've learned when I studied you, because as we at Commonwealth do, we study the guests and try to understand their grind, their effort, their mentality, how they tick pretty much.
Right.
How are you able to handle so many hats from what I've seen? So I'm going to ask you for the first hat. Being an assistant coach to Ron Palmer, 46 years experience. Man's got like 700 wins.
Legend.
How did that experience start off, and then how did it get you prepared for that head coaching job?
Man, so I'm even going to take it a little bit before that. So there was a guy by the name of David Abella who he was an assistant coach when I was at Virginia State, and I had to do because I was a sports management degree, so like my what I did in the summertime was coach under Coach Summer League with him. So like that's how I started off, and then he ended up getting the job for like maybe a year or two, like 2 years. I think he was there for 2 years before Palmer took over, and so I was like a freshman coach at the time. And then when Palmer took over, he made me the JV coach, and he was like he wants to groom me to become the next coach once he leaves, because he was only going to be there for a couple of years. He was just doing it because he came to Virginia, had some grandchildren that went to Hayfield, and he saw that there was a need at Hayfield to be a coach. And man, I learned a lot from that dude, like a lot. It's been an amazing experience being under Coach Palmer.
I can imagine, man.
Yeah.
He's a legend in California.
Oh yeah, 609 and 105 was his record total.
609 and 150. Yeah, I read that too.
And like Kendrick Lamar kind of like did a song about him, or did a verse just strictly on him, on Coach Palmer. It's crazy.
That's pretty live.
Yeah.
That's pretty live, yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, that one took me left right there. I was going to go right into the culture of your program and take me through how, 10 and 13 that prior year and you getting an opportunity to put your stamp on it. How was that changing culture attitude? Like, what's your mantra? What we know when we come into Hayfield?
So it's a couple things. When you come in our gym, our lights is very dim, so it's a dark gym.
Man, get that Duke Blue Devil mess out of here.
Hey, it's like the Hawk. It's really a nest. We call it the Hawk's nest. Okay. It's really a nest. It's real dark. It's real dark in our gym. Okay. Lights real dim. Okay. So it gives that environment. Like a lot of coaches don't like being in there because it's so dark. But it's been good to us.
What works best for you is all that matters. It's your gym,
right?
So you have the best surroundings for your team. Who cares what the opponents think?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But that's what everybody complain about when they step in our gym, is that it's dark. But I've grown accustomed to it, especially from playing there to actually being the coach there. So it's been amazing. But as far as like my program and what they're going to expect, you're gonna get a team that likes to defend. I've always been, especially early on, I was a coach to pick up 90 feet. We trying to guard full court, pressure defense, trap on the half court side. That's always been like my mantra. And then offensively, secondary break type of. I've always been a secondary break type of coach, and let my guys play freely. Whoever gets the open shot takes the shot. All the time, most of the time, our best players are going to get the most of the shots. But, I get free range to a lot of my guys to do what they do.
That's good. That's good.
And that's all. And that is our mantra: is do what we do.
Do what we do. I like that.
All right, let's take it back to the preparation for your teams, man. Because I know it's down to a strict schedule. Summertime. Let's take it to summertime, way before the season even starts, before tryouts even starts.
Right.
Like we said, we having those summer league games. We looking at this player, that player. We looking at who can do what. We looking at progression from the guys from last year. Tell us about that. Tell us about the preparation of your team going into the summer, heading into before basketball season starts. What it looks like.
Right. So for us over at Hayfield, man, I always try to find the best bump that I can in the summertime. Sometimes it's going to be in our area, and sometimes it's going to be in Maryland or DC. So I'm always trying to find the best bump so that we can play versus the best competition that we could possibly play versus. And the summertime is always used for guys to find new roles, and then for like JV or freshman guys that we want to move up to varsity, get those guys accustomed to what we're doing. And it's always been like I love summer league. I really do. Summer league is one of the best leagues that we have around here. Summer league and fall league are the best two that we have. I hate spring league. Spring league's terrible.
Yeah.
Because AAU is going on and everything. So but summer league is one of the best things that we can do. And the fact that I've always had most of my players there throughout the summer and start that new process for the new year. It's always been good, and it always helped us leading into the season.
One would say that's where you see your most progression with kids and can kind of weed out how you have a vision for your upcoming season. So, in that regards, how do you, let's say you said you like fast pace up and down and everything goes. So if you have a slower team or maybe not as fast as you want them to be, how do you adjust in regards to that? Like what are your offsets in regard to that?
Man, so this past year, I've had to slow the ball down a lot because I had a big dude who could score in the post, and I wanted to make sure that guy got touches. So it was always a tug and pull with my guards because they want to get up and down. But I'm like, nah, y'all not scoring. Get the ball to my big dude. So let's slow this thing down. Let's run some half court sets and let's get the ball to the person who can actually put the ball in the hole at a 58-60% rate. So it's a constant tug and pull, like I said, and it's just a lot of practice time, getting on the court, talking to them, watching film, and just taking it day by day. Yeah, that's how it's always been. But like I said, man, this was the first year where I had to really get my guys to slow down. And
it's a culture shock, isn't it?
It was different. It was different for them.
It's not something to be used to. Nothing you won't ever be used to.
Right. But now we back to it though.
Yeah, I've seen you on the bench, man, and that's the thing is that how they say as poised as the coaches, his players are. So even with that, having to change that strategy up, I'm sure they were keen to. Sometimes it take a while to corral them in, but they believe in the vision, man. They've seen you at your best work, and so they want to be a part of that. They buy in and they believe in that culture, man. So talk to me about establishing your print, if you will, on the program, how they react.
I mean, so for me, this is my 8th, going to my 9th season. The way that I've coached and the way that I approach the game, everybody has seen it, and I get to see most of my kids during the kids that's coming up. They're at my basketball camps, so they get to build that relationship with me early, especially the ones that's good and that's going to become 4-year Hayfield basketball players. We build those relationships early, and that's a big selling point for me because I have a great relationship with those kids at a young age, and then as they get older, we continue to build that bond, and then by the time they step on the court with me, it's second nature. And me being from the community and being at Hayfield, graduating from Hayfield in '99, I've always been around. So the fact that I've always been around, everybody knows my name. Everybody knows who I am. Everybody knows how I am. I'm a passive aggressive person, but they know which buttons to push and which ones that stay away from. So I've built a good rapport with everybody in my community, everybody within my teams. It's been a couple instances where some things they didn't work out between me and a couple of players, but overall, all my kids love me, and I think they'll vouch for that.
I like that. I used to do a thing at Bruton where we went to the elementary school and put on a show for the elementary school kids just so they could be stargazing and
right.
Falling in love with basketball and hoping that younger generation brings it up. So, those are things that are essential pillars to a community, man. That's I didn't even ask the question and you worded it that way, and that's perfect. So, that's why I just used my example and ran right over top of it. That's the perfect way to do it, bro. I mean, knowing your area, having your alma mater, class of 99. Don't want to throw it out there too much,
Yeah, I mean, it's all good. I graduated 99.
We had the grace age. We had lose control. I don't even want to say it, but Joe Button's got a bad line saying you feel like when you're at the age where you're on both sides of the boat. You can hang out with the young ones and you kick it with the old ones. That's all
right.
That's all I'm saying.
That's funny.
Hey, that's what he does, though. But so 8 years probably feels like 20 years, huh?
Yeah, it has. I mean, because I've literally been grinding since, 06 maybe?
Well, I want to go because I started in 13, and I recall I think 11 or 12 the state of Virginia releasing that period of can't practice, and you only have to follow the 2 dead periods.
Oh yeah,
You're part of that.
Yes.
That's when coaches,
right,
about like the guys like me and you, with full of energy, we want to be there, we putting in the work. We never closing the gym once when they open that up.
Right, exactly.
So how key is it to have that youth and energy, and tell me about how you feel like that's going to be always the key, or how do you think that looks on certain high school teams?
Yeah, I mean, I know like for how Hayfield runs and how I run, like my program, my gym besides COVID, my gym has always been open, and I invite as many kids that can hoop as possible so that they can play versus my players. And that's another like, I don't want to say selling point, but another thing that we do at our school where a lot of other schools don't do it. Like, we get a lot of college kids coming in and to play versus our kids. A lot of former players come in to play versus our players. And it's, that's been very key to help us, especially like the next up and coming kids that's coming through the program. It's good for them. And to see and I've had a good, 6-7 kids where they played, D1, D2, and some D3 ball. I just had a kid that's playing overseas in Japan. So like when those kids come back and play versus our kids, and then they get to talk to them, it's the best. It's the best.
It's the best source of recruitment. Yep.
But I love that a lot of kids like to come to our gym and play as well too. It's, like from our rivals from Edison to South County, we always get some TC dudes, and then and we get some Potomac dudes as well. They'll come hoop just because they start to hear that we got some good bump going on over there at Hayfield.
See that word, that bump, boy. I ain't gonna go into that bump, boy, but them good runs and
right.
Having them bumps available is a part of that youth, and that's what I'm talking about. Like knowing and us being, and we'll call it out at a HBCU, heightened our awareness about other things in life, which helps us in all situations, I say. Right. So in that manner, if you are bringing a Potomac kid or a Loudoun kid or any kid that comes from the area to your gym, you can sniff out the hostility or the camaraderie or all of the different angles that can come with that. So I salute you to that, to just be able to host that, because I recall doing that too to the Williamsburg kids and letting them come in and get that run in the summertime.
Right.
It's always about getting better. So if you was genuine, your program grows just off of your genuine character. So right. I love that.
It's always been, it's always been good. It's been good to me. And I've always been like that. And it's been like that since Coach Brian Meachers, he coaches at Lake Braddock, who was my high school coach and is also a legend in the Northern Virginia area as far as coaches go. And, I learned from him and starting that whole open gym process and making kids come hoop with us. So, and I just took from what I did in high school and just kept it going once I became a part of the Hayfield program. Even when I was an assistant coach, I was just having like during that time, a lot of my people my age was hooping. So I would have those guys come in and hoop with the kids that was playing during that time frame. And then it's a cycle. So it just keeps on going and going and going. As other people get older, the kids that had just graduated from high school, or the kids that's sophomore, juniors in college, they come back and hoop. It's always been good. Like, if you ask anybody, we got good bump at Hayfield.
Yeah.
Especially in them spring, summer times.
Bro, I can vouch. It was so amazing. Like you said, it's more than just basketball, having those bumps in the open gym. It's like you're tapping into the community. You're tapping into the potential. You're tapping into the passion that people have with the game, and it's just like you said, kids will graduate, and it's like they never left, man.
Right. That's a fact. You're right. It's like they never left, and I love seeing how they've developed as men as well, especially like the ones that's been out for a while. and you get to see them come back. You have great conversations with them to see how they doing in life. So like, that's another big key of why I like to coach and being around the gym and being a vessel for these guys to come hoop for an hour or two at Hayfield basketball gym.
Yes, it's an absolute blessing, man, for sure. So we commend you, man, and we see what you're doing. We appreciate what you're doing, man, and keep it up.
Absolutely, yo.
It's one thing I wanted to say too. Like as I'm getting older and I don't hoop as much, it's always key to try to find another young up and coming coach. So like I've been trying to find that next guy to be that young voice. 'Cause as I'm getting older, I'm not as hip as I used to be, and don't relate to the kids as much. I feel like I'm still cool.
We fighting that.
Hey, that's what I said. I still feel like I'm cool, but to the extent, always trying to find a good young coach. That's what my next plan is to find another young coach who had as much energy as I had when I was coming through the program, and to hopefully take the reins over once I leave.
It's so funny that you say that, because Palmer's exact words about you when you took over was he has the energy and the passion to bring to this next young group. That's the exact thing he said about it.
Dang, that's crazy.
It is.
Yeah, that's wild. That's what's up. Palmer's my guy, man. That's a great dude.
Guy.
He always said that he was going like once he saw what I was doing for the program. Like, so he always let me in the spring, summer, and fall, he let me basically run the program. So like I was basically doing everything. So I was not saying he probably didn't want to do it no more. So I was basically grooming myself to be the head coach without even knowing. And I just, was just taking it one day at a time, working, grinding, and always being in the gym, keeping the gym open for the varsity players that wanted to be in the gym.
That's the best position to be in under a champion, while he's exhausted physically, maybe not as much mentally, but physically.
Right.
And it gives you an opportunity to take over some full reps, and it makes you comfortable about the process and the transition, because then at least how 2/3 of the year is going to go.
Exactly.
So when you first started that first game coming in, you were like, I can't believe I'm here, first of all. And then second, after that, you want to stay ahead of the curve, and you stay fighting that as a head coach every day of the week. Just want to stay up on it and not fall behind. So, I mean, look, man, from, what was it? I think your last state appearance before you got there was 2009. They made a state appearance in 2017, courtesy of you. Shout out to that. Continuing growth with the culture and the program, identifying talent, bringing freshmen in when necessary. Because if you can hoop, you can hoop. Yeah, that's simple. So,
man, I'm gonna say, so when it comes to the whole freshman thing, I was never a big proponent of having freshmen on varsity, because I didn't think I was going to use them or play. It wasn't to a kid by the name of Brian Cobbs. Brian Cobbs was my first freshman player that I put on varsity, and then like he opened the floodgates for me, for everybody else that came along. I had three freshmen on varsity this past season, and that's the most I've ever had.
Nice. You want to start them early? That's just. And
Brian Cobbs is a big reason why we went to the state tournament. Last second shot, hit a 3 at the buzzer versus Hilton to take us to the state tournament.
Got that clutch gene.
He definitely. He had 5 game winners that year. And he's playing football at Maryland University right now. Never touched a basketball from after the basketball season until November, but he was that good.
Nice.
Crazy. I had to shout him out because he was special.
Oh, that's a good shout out, bro. That's a good shout out there. But definitely appreciate you there, giving us your time, man. I know things are crazy these days, so everybody's going 3-4 different ways, just trying to figure out what's what.
Right.
And, hopefully we have a season upcoming. I know you're preparing for it, and we look to see good things from you, man.
Nah, I appreciate it. I appreciate the time. It's been great conversation, man. I love stuff like this.
Yeah, man, I'd go all day with you. I'd make you tell me a Virginia State story. I'd make you tell me a coaching experience. See, that Virginia State story always loosens it up. And
and it could go one of two ways.
Oh, 1882.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Mont, you got anything else for him, man?
We just really appreciate you, man. We wanted you to notice that we noticed. So thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate you chopping it up with us for sure.
No, I appreciate it, man. I really do. And hey, and like I said, so I've been watching a couple of the last episodes, like Ty White. I saw that one. That was a good one, man. That was a real good one. He even because I didn't really know too much about him, and the fact that you put this platform out, and I got to know. I always hear about him, but the fact that I got to really see him and then hear what he was all about, man, that was amazing. And I really love that one. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. The stuff that we're about to do up here in Northern Virginia now, as me and you have spoken, are gonna be big. We're gonna keep pushing, and we're gonna do more things too, because it's always about finding who needs. And when you know they need, guess what? You get your best results anyway. So
for sure,
definitely, man, definitely. We definitely appreciate Coach Carlos Poindexter here from Hayfield joining us at Commonwealth Sports Talk. Tune in for us again, coming soon, and we're out.
All right.
The overtime of this, I guess I'm going to say, is in Northern Virginia, the circles are so deep-rooted that you really have to latch on to somebody to be connected. And it is amazing how, like that. I mean, as it shows, his coach was Hayfield's coach in '99. He then moves on to Lake Braddock. He's been successful. He's still coaching. A coach from California who's a Hall of Famer in 2 states probably just for coaching in Virginia, has over 700 wins, comes to Hayfield, gets his hands on them. He's been 2 coaches that are great, and he's got that circle building every year, and plus he played in the area. So those are things that are gold to keep your name valid and to keep you relevant. So that's why I had to get Coach Poindexter on here, because as quiet as kept, he is gold, man.
Oh, he is, man. I remember the competition, and that's why I couldn't wait to get him on to bring those memories of Summer League up, because, man, we were in there yelling at guys, man. It was so funny. Like, some of the guys had never played organized balls, like organized with us before. Now we had people in there, like he said, from freshmen all the way up, and we yelling at them like we in a divisional title game or something. Summer League, man. Like we just getting after it. When I saw him doing that, I was like, I gotta see this guy.
Yeah, that's that training day approach, man. It's like, yo, you gonna, pardon my French, either or get off the toilet. It's one of them things where that's how you find out if that freshman's gonna make varsity. When he comes his 8th grade year full and plays summer league with you, that's when you see the development change from a 9th grade kid that's finally got a full year of your system and the game's been slowed down for him. So that's why I love Summer League myself, man. We grew up on that Boo Williams Summer League, outdoor basketball in the 90s. It don't get no better than that. And now kids living in the gym every day.
Yeah, we wanted killers, man. And we had 5 months before the season started, we wanted killers.
Yeah, those are great times, man. Great times. So let's go right on into VA fact here. You know how it is, man. I'm going to say mine first, I guess. Everybody always say I take the lead, man, but I'm sorry for my personality, man. I apologize ahead of time.
Never apologize for that.
You're right. So the VA fact is Virginia private schools have had success all throughout the state of Virginia, mainly Northern Virginia, with the, I would say, cost of living is how I would word it, because those private schools have a lot more to offer. Don't be surprised in the next 12 months. Hear me out. Don't be surprised in the next 12 months if these private schools have increased in size, enrollment, sports, because of what is going on now. Whether you want to say public schools, whether you want to say VHSL, either way, private schools don't answer to either one of them two, and they have their own legislation, and they are operating. So please be mindful that these Virginia private schools are searching. If you thought you was going to find a college coach at your front door, parents, you may find a private school coach at your front door. So that's my Virginia fact because it's coming. Just want people to be mindful of that.
Yeah, easy, man. Easy. And we've seen it in the basketball model and even like in that area of DC where it's so small, like private schools running. Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback on that with my Virginia fact, man. So speaking of private schools and football, Life Christian Academy here based out of Chester, Virginia, actually has big news. They actually defeated Steele High School out of Texas. I think it was the weekend before last. It was a good win, man. It's 26-14. They got the W, and that's big, man. That's big for Virginia schools in terms of ranking, in terms of putting Virginia on the map. So, man, shout out to Life Christian.
How long has LCA had a football program?
Man, that's a good question.
It got to be less than 5 years old.
No, it can't be. It can't be less than 5 years. And that's the crazy part about it is that both them and their basketball program they're not playing around. They're getting around. They're playing these teams. I mean, shoot. Life Christian basketball is out here playing. I covered them playing Spire University. What was it? Spire Institute like 2 years ago when they came up to the
played ball.
They played ball. I got all that footage for Legacy, man. I was right there.
Yeah.
They're playing IMG. They're playing everything.
But see, look, 3, 4, 5 years ago, they were doing online enrollment classes.
That's crazy.
That's essential now. So it's nothing changed for them. So they now get to have continued focus on growing.
Like you said, they entered the nobody.
Like that. They took somebody down in Texas. That's always a smile in my book. Whenever we can beat those major big states, you know, the Californias, the Texases, the Floridas, the New Yorks.
He's just been doing it for a long time. The Phoebuses, the Hamptons, you know, they can get some respect nationally like they deserve.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And that was just like earlier when we was talking about Highland Springs and their respect for their 4P and not still being top 25 or top 20. It was just can't figure it out sometimes. Well, that was our VA Facts, man. And look, I'm telling you, season 2 has been pretty efficient. Smooth, great hosts, great guests. We've been giving it on all angles. So what we'll do is continue to finish up with season 2. Stay tuned for October. It is, as the kids say, it is lit. We will have some guests that's done it all. Trust me. Commonwealth Sports Talk bringing it to you. Legacy Maker, Brian and Pray, Lamonte, LT, Anthony Robb, Joe D. All of us combined. Let's get it. Peace and prosperity.